What's going on, everybody? How we doing today? We're live now. We're live on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. How's everybody doing? It's the weekend finally. It's finally the weekend. Let's see. Who do we have over here in Instagram? We've got a few people popping on. How's YouTube doing? It's all doing good, it looks like. Welcome, Dave. Dave, what are you I imagine you're a programmer or maybe you code, right? If it's Dave. What stack do you work with? What's going on, Shruti Agarwal? We've got some people on TikTok. I haven't been on TikTok forever. Haven't been streaming on TikTok because you've got to have another device for TikTok, one device for Instagram. Then I can use Restream for Facebook and YouTube. So it's good to be back, TikTok. Welcome, everybody. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Jason, full stack developer here at DevSlopes. I love to code. I primarily work with the mean stack, Mongo Express, React, and Node. So it's a lot of fun. And then I'm also the DevSlopes Web Academy instructor and coach, teacher, mentor, whatever. So I work with students every day, helping them learn how to code. And then I help them take those skills that they've worked so hard for and make money with it. All right. So I work with them until they land freelance work or until they land a job, whatever it is that is success to them. I work with them up until that point. So it's really important that, putting in all that hard work to learn something that you can reap the benefits from it. So really cool stuff. So it's the weekend today. It's Friday, which yesterday I thought was Friday. And it's funny because I'm on here. I was like, everybody have a great weekend. Like, I'll see you on Monday. But it was Thursday. And that's what happens when you're like deep into code, like Code Zone. All my days have blurred together this week. I've been doing a lot of API code backend stuff, working with Node and serverless functions and all this shenanigans. But it's been a lot of fun. Learning for a while and you're stuck. If you're wondering what technology stacks you should learn, what's a good programming language, or just whatever, go ahead and leave some comments below. We're going to see how well my internet works streaming from all these different devices here. That's what you get living out in the country and having an internet provider that nobody has heard of. So, but the country's nice. It's quiet and it's green. All right, well, you know what? I'm going to show TikTok some love. Let's get some love here from TikTok, and I'll answer some questions here since it's been forever since I've connected with y'all. All right, Lil Cube 770. I work on making software for cybersecurity applications. That's awesome. Lil Cube, was that the first technology that you dived into when you got into programming? Were you like, I want to do cybersecurity, and then that's what you learned, or did you start out with something else? I'm curious. I'm a self-taught developer, and I get asked all the time, like, should I get straight into cybersecurity? But I've never done it, so I don't know if it's complicated from the get-go. Yeah, let me know. Let's see, who do we have here? Instagram. Welcome, Shazim and Moa140. Rohan, welcome everybody. Let's see, can you give me your Instagram, please? My Instagram, like mine personally, that's irrelevant. Do you have any coaching lessons? What should I learn? So yeah, so DevSlopes Academy, for the Web Academy, what we teach is the MERN stack, Mongo Express, React, and Node. And then we teach you all about deployment, career prep, and then I will work with you personally. One-on-one, I will do code reviews. I'll make sure that you're learning the best practices. And then we have live weekly meetups where the students and everybody jumps on a Zoom call every single Saturday, and we just talk about code, tech, freelance jobs, whatever comes up. But it's amazing. We have an entire community, and it sucks learning on your own. So go to devslopes.com/apply if you want to work with somebody like me one-on-one and learn how to code and make it fast. Like, I will work with you until you get paid. So that's what I do. Let's see. Yes, I want to learn which technology to learn in the utility bills. So you want to like build software for utility bills? Is that what you're saying? I'm not sure I understand that completely, but what you should learn is, pick something that you want to do with programming, right? Do you want to build iPhone apps, Android apps? Do you want to build games? Do you want to work on robots and embedded systems, AI, machine learning? Like there's so many different things that you can do with programming. And there's certain technology stacks or programming languages that kind of align with what you want to do. You shouldn't be learning whatever somebody says, oh, this is the best language ever, you should learn it, or learn the most popular language, okay? Because that's a waste of time, all right? Decide what path you want to do with programming and then learn that technology stack, all right? And just kind of a quick insight to that, if you are wanting to do iPhone development, learn Swift. If you want to do Android development, learn Kotlin. If you want to do web development, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and then I would move into React. Personally, it's a really smooth transition. Angular is great too, but it has a much steeper learning curve. Views on front-end web development. Are you asking if I like it? So I'm a full stack developer. So yes, I do front-end web development. As far as working with like HTML and CSS, like it's okay. Like I'm good at it. I can do it. I used to be obsessed with like creating these interactive UIs, just beautiful UIs. All right. Like I'm good at it and I love to do that stuff, but I'm so sick of CSS. I just hate CSS. I like working on backend stuff. Recently for the last couple of months, I've been doing a lot of API work, and I love just managing data and APIs and endpoints and error handling, and not even having to worry about the front end, and then let the front end developer, connect and bind all do the data binding for the front end and work with the API endpoints that I've created. So, but front end is great. And that's where you should start. If you're brand new into programming, you should get in as a front end developer and then transition into a full stack developer over time, because it's really hard to find a junior backend developer position. Guys, that up. That's bad news. All right. So get a job with front end and then transition into back end over time. How long does it take to learn your course? So the DevSlopes Academy is 16 modules. All right. Some people try to pound it out like a module a week, so it's like 16 weeks. But I would say most of my students are finishing or getting through it anywhere between like 6 months to a year. So the cool thing about the Academy is you cater it around your schedule. All right. So it's very flexible. And the only thing that I encourage all my students to do is hands on a keyboard 5 days a week for at least 2 hours period, like hands down. If you're learning to code, like you've got to be consistent and you've got to put in that time. All right. You won't become successful as fast as you want to if you're just dabbling in it here and there, and then maybe you go a couple of days or a week without coding. Like you can't do that. You're learning a brand new language, a brand new way to think, a brand new syntax, and it's a lot of repetitive work to, get it down. All right, I'm going to hop back over here to TikTok and then YouTube. We're going to get to you over there. Oh, good. Finally, some questions from TikTok. All right. Will it be hard to enter the industry as a software engineer with a college degree in Europe? I don't think so. The whole world is in need of software developers. So whether you want to do remote work or overseas work or, whatever, the most important thing to getting a job is a college degree, like a computer science degree. Is that what you have? Let's see. You said, oh, is it hard without a college degree in Europe? No, it shouldn't be, because the thing that all a company wants is somebody who can code. All right. A little certificate, computer science degree. Who cares? Like, honestly, like save yourself like $80,000. Don't waste your money on one of them, because employers don't require it. Okay. And that's the reality. All right. They might put on somebody who can code. All right. And the reality is self-taught developers have way more hands-on experience in a year's worth of time than a computer science graduate over the course of 4 years. All right. So you should just apply to anything. Everybody needs programmers. I don't think you'll have a hard time at all. Let's see. So Lil Q says, no, I originally started with more game dev stuff, but like 15, I started the cybersecurity. That's awesome. Very cool. I do computer science at SQL. I need a project in a year time. How do I learn how to code in Python? So YouTube. You got a paid course there, or you could try the DevSlopes Academy. I wish we taught Python. We don't, but there's lots of sources to learn Python. And sorry, YouTube, I keep getting a notification that my network connection sucks. So if I'm lagging, I apologize. Let's see, Ben Green. Let's see, any idea why in my CRUD application when creating a new object, most of the properties are blank? What is the function that is feeding the CRUD application its data? Like, are you passing in an empty object? You should breadcrumb previously to what's happening, like start where the root cause is. Like if it's, say it's a form, for an example, and a user's entering a form and you're storing that data in an object, start with the form. Are you storing the information correctly? I don't know if you're passing it to a serverless function or whatever. Are you passing in query parameters like in a URL? I don't know what you're doing, but just breadcrumb backtrack. Okay, reverse engineer. That's the best way to do it. Let's see, what's a good book in labs or algorithms? I don't know any off the top of my head, but the one book I recommend to everybody, I wish I had an affiliate link for this. It's called Clean Code by Robert C. Martin. It'll change your life about the way you think about programming and write code. Like, it's incredible. It'll take your skills to the next level, like hands down. So let's see, FaZe. What if I want to learn only one paradigm, like functional programming instead of OOP? You can do that. There's a lot of functional programming. I see that a lot of languages, they cater around the OOP. But you can do that. But it also kind of goes back to like, what is like, is your end goal with what you want to build with code, like, you know, in that sphere of functional programming, or is it OOP? Can the Air Force be a good place to learn programming? I have no idea. No, well, I doubt it. I mean, this is just my opinion. I doubt it. You think of the Air Force and they have mechanical engineers, which they'll train you there, right? But being a programmer and creating their software doesn't really seem like a Air Force specific thing. Like, those are the, you know, dudes and gals who protect us, right? All right, I'm gonna take some YouTube questions. YouTube, I need to give you some love over here. Let's see, Morabati Yusuf. Hey, which is a good framework to start with? That's a very broad question, but you should start with the framework or the programming language technology with what it is you want to do with programming. All right, so whether it's iOS, Android, web development, for an example, those are all different paths and they all have different programming languages. So you should decide what it is you want to do with programming and then learn that. What do you mean with API code? So an API is application programming interface. So right now, all right, we're doing a live stream here. You guys are posting comments. Okay, so all of that is happening over HTTP protocols, okay, an API. This is how we're able to connect, is over the API that Instagram has created, that TikTok has created, and that YouTube and Facebook has created. This is how all of our devices stay connected and send and receive information. So when I say that I've been working on a lot of API code for DevSlopes, iOS 14, when it launched, messed up a lot of things for marketers, all right? Because what they did is there's Facebook Analytics. You can install what's called a Facebook Pixel into your website or into your app, and it tracks users. Like, they looked at this page, they did this, they made a purchase, they added something to their cart. So that way you can gauge how well your ads are doing. All right. And DevSlopes, obviously we have ads to, funnel people into DevSlopes to check out our DevSlopes academies. And so iOS 14 ruined that for our marketing and sales. So what I'm doing is I'm building our own API calls that works with Facebook's conversion API. So when y'all go onto our website and you click certain things or do whatever, I'm tracking that stuff. Like we've got the browser pixel that may be tracking you, but if you're on a mobile phone, I'm still making those API calls saying, yo, you clicked on this button, you went to this page. You booked a call to talk to one of our career coaches. So I'm tracking all of you now with the Facebook conversion API. So that's what I mean by working on API code. Let's see, what about Golang for starting? You know what? I don't know a lot about Golang. Like I've literally just heard its name and that's really all I know about it. That's it. Never used it. Hey, I just started Unreal this week. Came from Unity. Where should I start for free? Would like to learn C++ for Unreal as well. So Freddie, let's see. I've done Unity before. I haven't Unreal. So Unity is C#, if I remember correctly. I haven't used these game engines for a while, but my point is kind of what I want to address here is you said you would like to learn C++. So one thing to note about C++ is it is an insanely complicated programming language, and it has an insanely steep learning curve, like for beginners and even seasoned developers. C++ is just hard. Okay, I'm not saying it can't obviously be learned, but C++ is used when you need like optimized performance. So for an example, all the Blizzard games like World of Warcraft, StarCraft, C++. Okay, Call of Duty, C++. It needs to have insane performance to make these calculations on the fly. Okay, so very, very performant heavy. All right, so that's what C++ is good for. If you're using, Unity or Unreal Engine and you're just building games, probably 99% of the games that you're building probably don't need C++ and it's way overkill. So there's easier languages to learn. Now, if you do want to work on AAA games and need something high performant, by all means, go at it with C++. But that's just my recommendation. A lot of people bring up C++ like, oh, it's the best language. You should learn this. It is a fantastic language, but it also has its time and its place. And for almost everything in the world, except robots on Mars, AAA games, and, other things, it's overkill for almost everything else. We're going to have web development project for me to practice. Well, you could go to devslopes.com/apply and check out the DevSlopes Web Academy. We've got tons of projects in there that I built for my students to follow along with, and I've got coding challenges and exercises and all this stuff to just mind with awesomeness. So you can go to devslopes.com, or there's I would just Google like beginner projects or like projects for beginner web development. I want to be a web developer right now. I'm doing C++ and I enjoy doing this. My plan is to shift to Java when I'm done with C++. Is that a good approach? So Moodism, Bella, my question to you is, why are you switching programming languages? Like if you're, so C++, applications or things like that, like C++ is way overkill for web development 99% of the time, and it's way harder to do versus other languages that are available for it. Java is great. It's a very secure language. It has a broad general use to it, but I would decide what it is you want to do with programming. Do you want to build mobile apps? Do you want to do web development, artificial intelligence, AI? That's the same thing. What I meant was machine learning. What do you want to do? And that's what you should be learning. And when you pick a technology, stick with it for a year. All right. Become proficient in it, become good at it, and then venture out to other stacks if that's what you want to do. Is there a future in being a basic developer? Jay Woods, I would say there's a basic developer position. Means every developer, whatever they're building, it has its own unique challenges and whatnot. What if I hate programming, but I must start to love it? So if you're learning to code and you don't know if you hate it or love it, definitely start with free stuff. Okay, don't invest or pay for anything until you know whether you hate or love programming. Yeah. K McKay, I have a question. I can't find a video with 100% explained C# in Unity. So do you have anything to help? We have 1 trillion videos. Yeah, so DevSlopes actually has a Unity course. If you go to, what is it? Go to, dang it, I don't even know how to run our courses. So we do have one on Udemy. We don't do Udemy anymore. But go to devslopes.com. It might be on our programs page or somewhere. If you created an account with DevSlopes, you'll see a bunch of courses that we have, like smaller courses like for Udemy or Unity and other things. But DevSlopes' primary focus is on our academies, where we offer mentorship and career coaching and code reviews and live meetups, all that stuff. But yeah, DevSlopes has one. And it's very highly rated, so go check it out. Let's see, name a few top projects for landing an entry-level job. So I would build a CRUD application, a full stack app, something that can do create, read, update, and delete records from a database. You could do build a clone of an app, like a Twitter clone, a Slack clone, an Uber clone. You just want something full stack, and that's going to be impressive to an employer. Now, one thing, if you want to step it up a notch, is do freelancing first before you try to find a job. Try to get a paid project under your belt, 1 or 2 of those, because then an employer will look at your portfolio and say, wow, somebody has paid this person to build something. All right. And it's going to add a lot of validity to you as a developer. So land some freelance projects first if you can, and it's just going to make your portfolio that much better. Let's see, I want to start data science course, need help. I don't know where to steer you. YouTube. I'm learning web dev, just finished learning CSS. Now we'll do JavaScript, MERNstack next. Yeah, Ian, I think that's a fantastic step. And the reason why after JavaScript, I'd recommend React is because React has a really simple and clean syntax to it. And it already uses JavaScript in a way that you're familiar with. All right. Whereas like Angular is fantastic, but that's a framework that's full stack end to end, covers all client side and HTTP tools that you need. All right. But it has a way steeper learning curve. You have to do TypeScript, and Angular has a lot of Angular specific syntax that only Angular does. And so I kid you not, everything you want to do in Angular, you're just going to have to Google the heck out of it because it's so specific and it has so many guidelines and rules around it. Whereas React is a little bit more loose and uses JavaScript in a more familiar way. So yes, React is great. And then, yeah, once you've got that, move into Node, which allows you to write server-side code or write JavaScript on the server. So Node's a fantastic choice. And then, yeah, MERNstack, Mongo Express, React, and Node. Node.js and PHP will have many projects in enterprise companies. Yeah, they will. So I used to be a full stack engineer over at Dell Computers, and we use Node. PHP, there's companies that use it still, okay? It's like legacy code. PHP has been around for 20 years, and I promise you over 20 years, we've come out with far better programming languages that can do the job as well or better with a really nice, clean syntax to it. PHP is just gross. That's a personal opinion. All right, I'm not saying PHP is a bad language. It's fine. Lots of companies still use it. It just has a nasty syntax to it. It is an ugly programming language, hands down. It just is. But if you want to learn it, go for it. But I would do Node, especially if you're doing web development. Why go and learn PHP when you can do all your server-side code in JavaScript? You don't have to go learn a brand new programming language. Just keep it simple. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to get to questions over here. We've got 5 minutes left. Is it worth it to start a video game business with which to build AAA games? Give some advice, sir. Okay, so here's my advice. This is personal opinion from Jason. All right, this is just Jason's opinion on trying to start a AAA game development studio. Think of the AAA game dev studios like Activision and Blizzard and all that stuff. They have $1 million marketing budgets. All right. So AAA games is really cool. All right. They're awesome. But if you're trying to start your own business, I don't know if you're trying to build your own apps and then market them. You just have to. Games is a hard place to make money with. All right. Those days of like submitting an app like Flappy Birds to the market and then being a millionaire, those days are over. All right. A AAA game studio, there's a lot of competition. All right, let's take a couple of questions from Instagram and then YouTube, and then we're going to wrap this up. Oh, let's see. I answered that question. Let's see. Salut Staslu. Man, I ruined that username. Sorry. But to your question, you're asking which programs do you teach? Do you have any trial course? We do. If you go to, let's see, what is it? devslopes.com/free-course. All right. We've got a free course for iOS, Android, and web development. It'll give you an idea of DevSlope's teaching style. Okay, I teach the web development stuff. So it'll give you a taste of what things are kind of like. And then if you go to devslopes.com/programs, you can check out the syllabus for each program so you'll know what you're going to be learning. All right. So that's what I would do, is go there. And those free courses that we have are kind of our trial courses. But they're great. They're great. You should check them out. Let's see. In which case coding is best than using a CMS? If you need very custom features. So the crazy thing is a lot of CMS tools can handle a lot of stuff. Okay. And there's so many of them out there that in most cases that can cover all the bases. But if you have a very unique, specific need, then building your own from code could be a good option. Let's see. Someone's asking, learn React plus React Native. That's a good choice. It's great for cross-platform development. I would recommend it if you're wanting to do freelance work. Companies just haven't adopted React Native very much. You might see it in some smaller companies or startups, but if you're looking to actually get a job and land employment, React Native, I wouldn't recommend it. Just do React. All right, we've got how much time here? 2 minutes. Let's see, what else do we have here? Sorry, I wasn't muted. I just stopped talking for a little bit. By the way, which laptop characteristics should I use? Really, if you have something that's like 2015, 2014 or later is fine. For web development, you don't need anything crazy. If you want to do iOS development, you have to have a Mac. Will you hire me after the course? Hey, if there's, so what's cool, Saliu, DevSlopes has actually hired a ton of our students to do work for us. And, you know, it goes on their, you know, portfolio of work, and, you know, they have validation from us that it's all legit and everything. We also have even hired students in the past. So it's possible. It's possible. How does DevSlopes Trainer make people earn from coding? So here's one of the things. I'm a self-taught developer. All right. So I learned how to code, and it took me longer than normal because I was flying blind. I didn't know if what I was learning was even useful. Okay. So it took me a while to figure that out. But then it's like, cool, I have these skills. I want to be a programmer. But it's like, well, what about getting a job? There are so many things specific to a developer. The job interview process for a developer is different than almost every job out there. It's anywhere from like 4 to 7 interviews for a programmer. So I work with students to strategize their LinkedIn and to work with them on their resume. I work with them through the whole interview process, preparing them for those. And then, yeah, we do all the career prep. And then if they fail an interview, we talk, and then, you know, prep them for the next one, and then the next, and the next. And then we also have job postings and a freelance channel where we post a lot of work for our students to take. All right. So, Academy, and they've already landed jobs. So it's great stuff. We're out of time here. I'll take one more question here from TikTok. And then we're going to wrap up. All right. What do we have? People are just asking actual programming questions on here. I don't have time to answer actual programming questions. Somebody asked me on YouTube, what's your favorite Linux OS flavor? Probably Apple's Mac. All right, so that's it, everybody. Unlike yesterday when I thought it was the weekend, today actually is the weekend. So I want everybody to have a fantastic weekend. If you're new to coding or you want some direction and guidance and accountability and work with somebody like me, a mentor, to learn how to code, and then I will help you get a job and get paid, then go to devslopes.com/apply and just, set up a free call. Ask any questions you want about the academy and see if it's a good fit for you. If you are somebody who wants to stretch your programming skills to the next level, go to 30daycodechallenge.com. DevSlopes has these 30-day coding challenges that we put on every single month. The next one starts here in a couple of days. So go to 30daycodechallenge.com and click on the sign up and get registered for that. All right. So that's a wrap. Until next time, stay safe, stay positive, keep coding. Adios. I don't know how to end Instagram or TikTok.